Hello everyone, welcome back to my additional mathematics channel. For today's video lesson, I will share with you the paper 2 trial exam Kedah. The question is trigonometric function. The trigonometric function or equation is actually quite challenging, right? So many of you actually choose not to answer trigonometric question, right? But basically it is a core subject in mathematics and additional maths especially. So you need to master well the trigonometric function in order to secure an A+, alright? So let's see how to solve this question. Have fun! Let's get started with the question. Let's read the question. Solve the equation cos y equal to 3 sine square half y minus 1 trigo equation. Okay, so let's see how to solve the trigo equation. Basically, when you look at this question, you will tell yourself that I'm not going to do this question because I cannot even find the formula for half angle from the formula list, right? So you actually choose to give up. Am I right? So I just want to clarify with you, actually you no need to scared of trigonometric function. It's actually quite robotic question. So you keep on practice. So for you, half angle formula is not so familiar. So it's because you seldom use, alright, you seldom use it. Now I'm going to explain to you how to find the formula and how to derive the half angle formula later on from the formula list. Okay, so before we can start with the trigo equation, we must understand how the half angle formulae come from. Alright, so basically in SBM exam they will give you sine A equal to 2 sine A cos A, right? But actually, in fact, there is another formula which is sine A equal to 2 sine A over 2 cos A over 2. So in the formula list is sine 2A, right? 2 sine A cos A. So in fact, actually you just simplify the angle from 2A become A, and then you just half of the angle when you apply to the double angle. You understand? You notice that to the left is actually A and to the right is actually half. The formula remain the same. Example like cos 2A, right? You have cos 2A equal to cos square A minus sine square A. So now you just half of all the angles, so become cos A equal to cos square half A minus sine square half A. And the same apply to 2 cos square half A minus 1 and 1 minus 2 sine square half A or half A, right? So now we will change to cos y because our question actually asking for angle y. So if cos y, it will become 2 cos square y over 2 minus 1 or 1 minus 2 sine square y over 2, right? Okay. So notice that you have the sine square, right? Sine square. Okay, let's see the question. We want to convert the question into everything sine. So we will actually choose the one with the sine square, right? So I copy down this formula, cos y equal to 1 minus 2 sine square y over 2. I'm going to use this formula to substitute into my equation later. So we'll use this one as our formula. Okay, alright, so you can jot down this formula. and can actually try to memorize it if possible. If can't, then you just be aware that there is a half angle formula. Alright, again I write cos square y. Cos y is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square y. Now let's get started with the question. Alright, so we are going to substitute cos y with 1 minus 2 sine square half y, right? Okay, so now we need to make sure all the terms are actually sine half y so that we can solve, right? Alright. Okay, so basically when you see a trigo equation, there is a cos or sine. You have to make it either all cos or all sine. Alright, so we will choose the one with the sine half y, okay, as the terms. So now if you think it's very tough, very hard for you to solve for the sine half y, you can actually use one unknown to represent sine half y. Maybe for you sine half y it seems like very complicated. In fact, it's actually just one term. Alright, just represent the sine half y with one unknown. Alright, okay, so I hope you understand what I mean. So I'm going to use the unknown to make the equation of the trigo equation simpler so that it won't be so complicated. Actually, when you solve the trigo equation, it's the same like you are solving the quadratic equation. Do you know that? I'm sure you are very expert in solving quadratic equation, right? So the same apply here. So let me show you how to solve the trigo equation. So we have the sine half y, right? So we must make sure every terms are sine half y. Okay, so let's substitute carefully into the trigo equation. So let's write down the trigo equation in one sentence and we'll try to solve it. Alright, so now you have cos y is equal to 3 sine half y minus 1. This is the equation given by the question, right? Now because we have learned the cos y just now, the list that I show you, cos y is equal to how many? Half y. Still remember the formula? Okay, you can try to write down is 1 minus 2 sine square half y. There's a square. Alright, so this is the formula that we are supposed to use. In fact, I have explained to you, it is come from cos 2y formula in the SPM formula list. So you have this formula, cos 2y equal to cos square y minus sine square y, or 2 cos square y minus 1, or 1 minus 2 sine square y. As I mentioned to you, you just divide by 2 for all the terms. So you will get the cos y is equal to 1 minus 2 sine square half y. Understand? So next time when you see half angle, you don't afraid, don't worry. You can always refer to this one and then you can modify, just divide by 2 for each of the term at left and right. The 2y and y you just highlight like this. I'm going to change to half angle. Okay, I need to explain to you so that you understand how to get the half angle formula, right? So we are going to replace the 2y with the y, so it become cos, okay, the angle in the rectangle, you can actually change accordingly. Alright, so it's just that you divide by 2 for each one, right? 2y, you divide by 2, you get y, isn't it? Alright, so y at the right hand side become half y. The same apply for the second formula. So now I'm going to show you how to derive the formula, okay, so that you are aware the formula is actually derived in this way. So if you are having 2 love, cos 2 love, you'll get 2 cos 1 love minus 1, 2 cos square 1 love minus 1. Same thing, if you are having cos 2 love, you will get 1 minus 2 sine square 1 love. Alright, okay, so if you're having cos 2 love, you can write cos square 1 love minus sine square 1 love, right? So you understand how to get a half angle. So now you take out one of the love by divide by 2 every terms. Okay, so if you having the cos 1 love, it will become 2 cos square, okay, half love. So you have to divide by 2 for each one, right? So it become like this. Cos, the 2 is to the left and the right is 1 love. Alright, understand? So if you want to modify, you have to modify like this. It become just divide by 2 every angle. Okay, so I'm going to show you so that you can memorize it, because this actually 3 formula are quite popular in exam. So if you fill up with the angle at the left, okay, 1 love, then the right will be half of the love. If let's say 60, it will be cos 60 will be cos square 30 minus sine square 30. Alright, understand? So if let's say you have 1 love represent maybe 120, so it become 2 cos square 60 minus 1. Alright, it become half. So I hope you understand how the half angle derive from the formula list given in the exam. So we are going to use this one. Cos 1 love equal to 1 minus 2 sine square half love. Of course, the love is y, alright? Cos y equal to 1 minus 2 sine square y over 2. So you need to modify the formula so that you can actually use the formula in the equation later on. Okay, so I'm sure now you have a clearer picture how the half angle come from. So let me substitute 1 minus 2 sine square y over 2 is equal to 3 sine y over 2 minus 1. It's better to put the bracket for y over 2. So now it looks like very complicated, right? So I'm going to ask someone to help. I ask the mystery x to represent sine y over 2. So whenever I see sine y over 2, I will replace with x. So sine square y over 2 means that sine y over 2 square. Do you know that? Alright, so I'm going to replace with the mystery person x for sine y over 2. So 1 minus 2x squared is equal to 3x minus 1. This is very familiar to you, right? I'm sure you can solve this easily. So we have to arrange in general form, right? After we arrange in general form, then I'm sure you know how to do. You press your calculator and then you will factorize, right? So I have 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equal to 0. And then I will factorize. Okay, so it's 2x minus 1x plus 2 equal to 0. Then I will solve by letting the factor equal to 0. So x is 1 over 2, x is negative 2. So whenever the sign value more than negative 1, less than negative 1 or more than 1, we will reject the value, alright? Okay, so the x is equal to 1 over 2, but don't forget the mystery person is actually represent sine y over 2. So we have sine y over 2 equal to 1 over 2. Then we are going to solve the y over 2. Whenever you want to solve the trigo equation, the step 1 is find the reference angle. Alright, reference angle is always positive, right? So you just shift sine 1 over 2, you get alpha is 30 degrees. That is called reference angle, and then you refer to the quadrant which is sign positive at first and second. So then you will solve y over 2 equal to 30 degrees and 150 degrees, and hence y equal to 2 times 30, which is 60, and 2 times 150, which is 300 degrees, right? So now we managed to solve this trigo equation. Okay, even though it involves half angle. For your information, for this one, x equal to negative 2, we can just reject it because as you know, the sign, the maximum value is 1 and the lowest value is negative 1. So once you see the answer exceed the limit more than 1 or less than negative 1, so we will actually just reject it, and we don't want to waste time to go and solve it. In fact, if you try to solve, you get undefined. You won't get any answer from the calculator. Alright, so the final answer for the angle y are 60 degrees and 300 degrees. These are the solution for the trigo equation. Now, after you do the trigo equation, normally you have to double check the range of the angle, okay, the y. So we always double check so that we won't make careless mistake, because sometimes the range will actually we're asking the angle from where to where, right? Okay, so it's from 0 to 360 degrees. Alright, now we are going to sketch a graph for part B. Okay, this is trigonometric function. Function is a graph. So the graph is given y equal to negative 2 sine 2 beta plus 1. Okay, we don't have x, we have beta. Beta is the angle. So the angle can be in any symbol, alright? Okay, so now do you still remember how to sketch the trigonometric function? For beta from 0 to 300, and the angle is not until 360, is until 270, right? So actually you don't have to label until 2 pi, you just label until 270. So okay, so then find the value of m, which is give only one solution. The m is integer if sine 2 beta equal to m, and the beta should be between 0 to 3 pi over 2. Okay, so now by looking at the question, firstly we need to sketch the graph first. Alright, after we sketch the graph, then we will try to substitute the m and then try to solve. Now I'm going to try to sketch the trigonometric function for the negative 2 sine 2 beta. Alright, okay, so when you have negative 2, it means that it's actually inverse of the s, right? And when you have the 2 beta, it means that it's 2 cycle, right? So we are going to label the beta and the y, and then basically you should know that you have actually 2 beta means you have 2 cycle of the s, but because the angle is asking until 3 pi over 2, so you have to make sure you label until 3 pi over 2, not until 2 pi. Alright, so we have pi over 2, we have pi, then we have 3 pi over 2 will do. Okay, stop, don't continue, because we used to continue until 2 pi, right? So but for this question is special, the angle is actually until 3 pi over 2, which is 270. So we try to sketch the S. Okay, it should be negative, so it should be inverse up, right? The S sign. So we have actually maximum, it happened at I think 135 45, then you have 135 because inverse. Okay, so you will have the shape something like this, is 1.5 cycle until 3 pi over 2, right? So let's make it smooth and nice trigonometric function. Try the best. Okay, right, so we have S 1 cycle and then half cycle because until 3 pi over 2. Alright, so I think it's still not so nice, not symmetrical, so let's have a better one. Okay, so I re-sketch again so that I can have a nice shape. Alright, so I think this one should be okay, still not so symmetrical, but it's okay. So we try to use a ruler to sketch. Alright, so now I'm using a rough sketching, so you can make it, you can improve it. Alright, so this is actually the graph that asking us to draw. So because the question says sine 2 beta equal to m, so we will substitute into the trigonometric function or the graph that we have. So let's copy down the equation. Alright, the function given is y equal to negative 2 sine 2 beta, right, plus 1, right? So now you can substitute sine 2 beta equal to m, alright, so that you can get an equation. So y is negative 2 sine, when you see sine 2 beta you substitute m. Alright, so now you see you have the equation like this, y equal to negative 2m plus 1, and then this is actually a straight line, right? So guys, you just go to the trigo graph and then you just imagine that you sketch a straight line. So if you sketch which straight line will give you one intersection point with the trigo graph, I'm sure that is the place, right? So it will be the horizontal line passes through the highest point, right? So then the equation should be y that passes through 3, which is y equal to 3. I think none other than this equation that will have one solution, right? You can draw as many as you want. Maybe you draw y equal to negative 1 or y equal to 0 or y equal to 2. All these will have more than one solution, right? You can draw a slanting one or slanting to the left or slanting to the right. You will have many, more than one, right? So finally we'll choose y equal to 3 as an equation that will have only one solution. Clear? Understand? One solution means one intersection point between the two lines, the blue line and the purple line. Clear? So then you say y equal to 3. So then you substitute 3 is negative 2m plus 1, then m is negative 1. So that means when one solution, the value of m must be negative 1. Understand? When you use m equal to negative 1, y equal to negative 2 times negative 1 plus 1, you get y equal to 3. So that equation actually will produce only one intersection point with the trigo graph. Understand? So make sure your concept of the point of the intersection, it means the number of solution. Remember that this is very important keywords. Again, I say number of solutions is actually means number of the points of intersection between the straight line and the trigo function or trigo graph. Got it? So do you understand? I'm sure you have a better picture about how to sketch the trigo graph, right? So I really hope that my sharing do help you to gain confidence in trigonometric function and trigonometric equation. Alright, till then I shall see you in my next video sharing. Bye bye and have a nice day.